Y'all, let me tell you a tale about a man named Ron who's blazing the trail. They say Scott Hammer's the boss on the show, but Ron's the one driving, just so y'all know. Ron Miller, he's the one in charge. Tearing Hammer down like a big old barge. Scott, don't worry, it's all in fun. Ron's a real host when the race is run. Now Ron talks engines and he talks tires. Scott might be the match, but Ron's a fire. With his country charm and a wink in his eye, he's taking over and we all know why. Ron Miller, he's the one in charge. Tearing Hammer down like a big old barge. Scott, don't worry, it's all in fun. Ron's a real host when the race is run. When Ron hits the mic, the crowd's on their feet. Scott's in the pits, they're just trying to compete. It's all good nature, just a country jest. But when it comes off poachering, then the Ron's the best. Scott, don't worry, it's all in fun. Ron's a real host when the race is run. So raise your glass, let's give Ron a cheer. Scott's still our buddy, but it's Ron we revere. A little mutiny, just for a smile.
Oh, all of bread blade heating temperature contribution.
Just playing with you, Scott. Don't go nowhere.
The Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report. Hold on, let me get rid of that. There we are. Hi there. Cool. Hey. Not sure why.
Show number 355.
There you go. Thank you.
God, I knew you lost your place. What?
Why is this? There we go. Let's do this.
For sure?
Okay, now we're good.
Okay.
I had to click some buttons there. Yes, it's Hammer Down Racing Report, part of the Evergreen Podcast Network, show number 355, as Ron just said, for Thursday, November 14th. Scott Hammer, Ron Miller coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch from the Dominator Race Products Studio. And just a reminder to get out and vote for us at the Toledo City Paper.
Not for president or anything. This is local. It's helping us.
It is helping us, yeah. The Toledo City Paper has their Best of Toledo. We were nominated in that. The drawing's still going on, or the voting's still going on. I didn't look and see where that ends.
December 14th, maybe? Or
say on the... Through December 15th. Okay.
15th, okay.
There you go. So you got time to vote. You can vote once per email per day.
That's it.
So you can, if you have multiple emails, you can vote however many emails
times.
you have per day. I've been doing it. Ron's been doing it.
They won't black flag you like you'd get here on Hammer Down Racing Report.
They're a little more lenient.
Yeah. It just won't take it.
ToledoCityPaper.com. That's where you can go, and then click on the Best of Toledo banner they have on there. It'll take you to where you can vote. Choose the media category, and then scroll on down to local podcasts. And hopefully you don't like any of the 5 other podcasts that are
5 or 4 others?
I think it's 6 total.
Yeah, okay.
It's us and 5 others, isn't it? We're gonna go with that. That's what it has been. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're in the final 6. So let's we've been in the final 6 like 4 of the past 6 years, I think. So let's
And
we're making a push this year.
We've
been slacking
We
before.
didn't push it last year.
No, and we weren't even pushing to get nominated this year. But since we did, we're going to keep it going. So there you go. Vote for us once per day. Put a little reminder in your phone or something to first thing you open up your computer in the morning.
Our listeners are sharp enough that they'll remember on their own. They wake up in the morning thinking, hammer down. Oh yeah, I got to vote.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking all the time. Also, tonight on the show, we're going to be speaking with Limaland and Lorain Raceway Park champions. Actually, Limaland champions Todd Sherman and Tony Anderson. Sherman winning the championship in the mods. He's also the champion up at Butler in the modifieds as well.
Really?
We're going to have our Butler champions on next week. But we'll talk to Todd about both championships, Limaland and Butler there for the mods. Okay. Tony Anderson then will be joining us a little later. He was the Thunderstock champion there at Limaland. And Will Yuravak, first time we're having him on the show, the Pure Stock champion over there at Lorain Raceway Park. So those will be our guests tonight. We'll also be giving away some Mazza Stone-Fired Pizza. And, of course, our regularly scheduled Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker giveaway, courtesy of DCR Graphics. Just type in hashtag DCR in the comments of the Facebook Live, the YouTube Live, or even Twitch. And there we go. I'll take that. And producer Dave is going to be compiling all those entries. You just have to do it once. You don't have to keep doing it. So he will compile all those entries, and we'll spin the wheel to find out who will win the window sticker coming up later on. So stick around for all of that. What else do we have? There's something else. A lot of news, too.
Yeah.
Lots to get to. So let's get things going. First, got to mention Victory Fuel, the flavored electrolyte water that is free of artificial coloring, no caffeine, no carbonation, with a full load of electrolytes and 120% of your daily vitamins. It's the choice of many teams on race day to stay properly hydrated. Contact local sales representative Tanya Conley for track concessions and for business wholesale inquiries, or order online at drinkvictory.com. You can use the discount code Conley Racing. You'll support the Conley Racing program. And you also save, I think you save like 10% or something.
I thought it was 10%, yeah.
So there you go. And as we mentioned, Victory Fuel, the official soft drink, the official beverage of the Hammer Down Racing Report. This is our last can. So
it could be a soft drink.
So we split it. Yeah, well.
It's soft and it's a drink.
It's not carbonated, though.
Oh.
But it is.
Does a soft drink have to be carbonated?
I don't know. Well, somebody look up the exact definition of a soft drink. Oakshade Raceway, we're the fastest meet to race. The race season's over, but the awards gathering is coming up. It'll be November 23rd. That's a week from Saturday, isn't it already?
Yeah.
Holy cow. And I think we're supposed to get snow, aren't we?
Just flurries.
Is that it?
They're just teasing us.
All right. Anyway, the awards gathering for Oakshade Raceway a week from Saturday. That's November 23rd at the Fulton County Fairgrounds from 1 to 4. That'll be in the Fulton building. No charge. You don't need to order tickets ahead of time or anything. You can visit oakshaderaceway.com for more information, and make sure to follow them on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok for the latest updates. Also got to mention Dittman Motorsports. He is your Hoosier Tire dealer for Northwest Ohio. He's got parts and service located over there in Oregon, Ohio. Just about any kind of race car service parts and even race cars that you may need. Call him today at 419-283-8580. And also got to mention Dominator Race Products, DCR Graphics, Ron Miller Race Cars, Freeze Frame Photos, and Magic Moment Entertainment. Also sponsors of the show. How about we do a quick racing roundup before we get to Todd? He's waiting for us in the green room there, so we will buzz on through our racing roundup. Action from this past weekend. There wasn't too much, but a lot of things are finishing up around here. So let's
Racing roundup.
A lot of action in Australia. So Australia is getting things going, and
that's because it's summertime.
Is it summer or is it still spring down there?
It's still spring.
Okay. Murray Bridge Speedway, Saturday. Nathan Throme picking up the win in the modified sedan feature, number 1. They had 2 of them, I guess. That was modified sedan feature number 1. Rob Urin won feature number 2. Dylan Richter won the Mod Light feature. Grant Harris was the winner in the Street Stocks. Nick Hall in the V6 Sprints, and Daniel Evans, your wingless sprint winner, all at Murray Bridge Speedway on Saturday. Also Saturday, Perth Motoplex. Dane Kingshot winning the 410 sprint car feature. Daniel Hardigan, the 360 LS sprint car winner. Michael Keane, limited sprint car feature winner. And Shane Anderson picking up the win in the Formula 500s. I like this one. Cal Gorley.
Yeah.
Gorley.
It is not, but okay.
I still like it. It's fun. That's a fun one.
Yeah.
Gooley. Yeah.
Just Kalgoorlie.
Okay, we'll go out. Kalgoorlie International Speedway, Saturday. Murray Iwanow picking up the win in the production sedans. Matt Robbins in the late models. Luke Barnwall, your street stock winner, and Tyler Scott, junior sedan feature winner there. Some World of Outlaw NASA Energy Drink sprints action from this past week. Actually, both World of Outlaw series for wrapping up their series or their seasons at Charlotte this past weekend. Thursday night, it was David Gravel picking up the win, and Friday, Carson Macedo. Saturday, Tyler Courtney. So 3 different winners in 3 different nights, but it was David Gravel picking up the championship there. Your 2024 World
Pretty
of
good
Outlaw Sprint
season
Car
for him.
Championship, yeah. In the Case Construction Equipment Late Model Series, Thursday night, Ricky Thornton Jr. picking up the win. Bobby Pierce, winner Friday night. And Saturday night, Chris Madden picking up the win. I guess there was a little something or other that went on in Victory Lane afterwards between Madden and Ricky Thornton Jr. I didn't see any video, but I've read some things about it. Yeah. So apparently they had a little difference of opinions when they were getting their pictures taken. But Brandon Shepard picked up the championship there. Brandon Shepard, in the World of Outlaws Case Construction Equipment Late Model Series. So congratulations to him. And I do believe we have some Brandon Shepard news coming up later on in the news about his ride for next year. You hear about that?
I think I did.
Okay, well, we'll find out for sure. NASCAR wrapped up their season at Phoenix Raceway this past weekend. Ty Majeski picking up the win Friday night, and he also won the championship there in the Craftsman Truck Series championship.
Out of the ThorSport team, just out of Sandusky. So, yeah, local boys do good.
There you go. Who's which team is Cook on?
Jerry?
Yeah.
He was with Stuart Haas in
I thought Cook.
Noah Gregson's car, the number 10.
Okay. All right. Apparently, I'm way behind it. Wasn't he at ThorSport for one of those guys?
Oh yeah, he was at ThorSport for quite as was Terry.
Okay.
Terry Cook set a record for, and it may still stand for the largest number of races run.
All right.
In that series.
Xfinity Series action on Saturday. Riley Herbst picking up the win there at Phoenix. Justin Allgaier crowned the champion for the Xfinity Series. And then Sunday, the one I didn't really want him to win. He won the race and the championship.
I was okay with
Were
it,
ya?
Scott. Yeah.
Joey Logano.
He's the new improved Joey Logano.
I don't know if there's ever since I saw that impersonation between him and Brad Keselowski as Beavis and Butthead, I can't get that out of my head every time I see Butthead, every time I see Joey Logano. But he's your third time champion there in the Cup Series. So and that wraps up the NASCAR season until Daytona next year.
Well, sort of. Don't they have a race before that? A little
that's right.
And banging at.
Wait, aren't they? Where are they? Oh no, they're doing that Bowman Gray next year. I forgot about that. Yeah. You're right. Okay. So still February.
Yeah,
they're done until February. Let's go with that.
Early February, I think.
Dominator Race Products have what you need to be in the winner's circle. Dominator with 30 years of experience to put you out front. Check out the Ultimate Brace Body Kits, as well as the Dominator Racing Stools, available in actually everything they have is available in a variety of colors. Don't forget about the Modified Valance Kits, plastic modified late model rear spoilers, and so much more. Check it all out at DominatorRaceProducts.com. You can order right there online, or you can call 419-923-6970. Dominator Race Products are also available from your local reputable race shops, such as Ryan Miller Race Cars.
Yeah.
Mention the Hammer Down Racing Report when you contact Magic Moment Entertainment, and you will receive $100 off your reception DJ service. Magic Moment's Ron Burt works with contracts. He carries liability insurance, never charges for mileage or dance floor lighting. He covers the entire states of Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, and Kentucky, and he's been in business for over 30 years, so he knows how to get it done, I guess.
That's a long time playing music at weddings,
is.
Scott.
Magic Moment takes pride in working closely with couples to make your special day perfect. It's like he's got a lot of seat time, right? The more seat time you get, the better you are as a racer. It goes the same way for a DJ, right?
I would imagine.
Sounds good to me. Wedding receptions are Magic Moments specially, but they also do corporate events and mitzvahs. Call 419-594-2261. Number will be scrolling at the bottom of your screen there. Or you can find him on Facebook under Magic Moment Entertainment or Ohio Sports Blitz. He's booking now for June of 2025 and beyond.
That's crazy. That's a year away. Almost.
It's not a year away.
Seems like it.
It's only like 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
It's not too far. How about we bring on our first guest here?
Okay.
He's been waiting patiently here. Bring up Mr. Sherman. How are you? Well, hold on. I think you're muted. I can see you, but I can't hear you.
Your mic might be muted on the computer.
Still can't hear you. You want to just call the number that I gave you? We could do it over the phone. There we go. All right. Well, while he's doing that, let's get rid of that. Oh, wait. I see him again. Still can't hear him. You never know what's going to happen.
No,
When you tune into the Hammer Down Racing Report. There we go. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. Todd?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. We can hear you now. Now we can't see you, but we're all good.
It said on my screen I was unmuted, but apparently I wasn't.
Must have been an issue with the mic thing. But congratulations, man. A couple of championships this year for you. You got Butler and Limaland. And I guess this was, your 11th modified championship at Limaland?
Yeah, I think it was 11. I had I've been the champion the last 6 years, but they didn't race in 2020. So I won 2019. They didn't race in 2020, and then I won the next 4.
I would have to guess the other drivers are getting a little mad at you. They're like, "Come on, man, share the wealth, right?"
Well, I won like 2010, 11, 12, 13. So I won like 5 in a row up to 14, and then I think it was somebody different for like 4 years. I think Babcock got one, Tony Anderson, maybe Kaz and Bowerstock. And then I won again in 2019.
And been shutting them out ever since.
Yeah, I think, I was the fastest car a couple of years. The last couple of years, I ain't been the fastest car, but I've been the most consistent.
Fair enough. Now, was this your 42nd year of racing?
I think it's the 41st because our shirts were for the 40th year, so I think it's 41st.
I thought those shirts said 2022 on them.
Well, it might be.
You've been racing for a long time.
I've raced so long, I lost track.
There you go. How many years you been racing, Ron?
Scott, I started when I was a junior in high school. That would have been 1964. Do the math.
All right, so you got a few more years, Todd, to catch up to Ron here.
Wow.
He can do it.
Yeah.
I can.
So what do you attribute all your success at Limaland to?
Oh, just it's all consistency, and Lima does a great job with being NASCAR sanctioned. So the point structure is really good for everybody, but the winner gets quite a bit too. So I've really focused on winning that championship, and we usually run one car, and I don't take it anywhere else. I just run it there, and then so it's less wear on the motor and less wear on the car, and once the car is set up and handling good, then I'm not having to change it to go from track to track to track.
You've got a lot of laps there. Do you think you could run one lap blindfolded?
It'd be close. I think I could do it. I could do it by the sound of the engine.
I understand.
So you have a separate car then you use for Butler?
Yeah. We ran a car that we took on trade-in. I ran that up at Butler this year. I had a couple different cars up there, but I kept the one that had the yellow graphics on it. It was basically my Lima car. Now, that car's 4 years old, and the one that my son's running is 5 years old. But me and him are building brand new cars this year, so we're kind of excited about next year that we're going to have two brand new cars.
Aren't you a little worried that you might have a little bit of a learning curve or have to dial it in to get it as good as the car that you've been using for the past 4 years?
Yeah, not really. The changes that we made were basically to try to get the car a little bit lighter and, just try to get weight out wherever we could. And my son's car is really good. He won a feature this year, and I was really proud of him. And I won the championship in that car like in 19 and 21 and 22. And then he decided he wanted to race, and I knew that car was good, so I let him have it so that he had something that would be competitive.
Gotcha. Well, you only had one win this season at Limaland. Would you have had more had you not been running for the championship and maybe been a little more aggressive in some races, or was that all you could squeeze out was the one win?
I race pretty conservatively, especially when I'm racing for points. And my son's always told me, he goes, I love it when you have two bad nights. The first 2 nights out are really bad because then you race on kill and you're a lot more fun to watch. So I would say probably, I may have got one or two more, but I try to win every race, but I just don't stick my car in places where it doesn't need to be. And that's the only way you're going to win championships. And Tony Anderson has a really similar driving style to me. He keeps his car under control. He stays out of trouble. He runs the bottom mostly. You won't see me up running, scraping the wall. I kind of like McDowell and Bloomquist. Them guys just figured out a way to get their car through the middle of the track, and they don't have to run up on the cushion.
Yep.
Now, you had 2 wins at Butler. Did you initially set out to go for the championship there this year as well?
Oh, yeah, probably in the beginning, yeah. And then they give away, Brian Prespora gives away one of those mega lifts to the champion, and that's a pretty good value. And so I set my goal that I wanted to get me another mega lift. I already got one. I bought one from him, but they're great lifts. They work great. And now I got one for my son.
Nice.
Tell him to race a little better. He could get one of his own.
There you go.
Well, I think he thinks he's going to take me down next year, and he's going to be the champion. And I said, well, I hope you do.
Todd, how old is he?
He's 28.
Okay.
Well, he might be 29.
Yeah, we had him on earlier this summer.
Yeah.
So because he just got his first win, didn't he?
Yeah, this summer was his first win, and he's got 3 young kids, and it's really hard for him to race more than one night a week, and he doesn't have a lot of time to work on the car. So, he didn't race. He always helped me, and then he's like, I do all this work, and I'm around race cars. When am I going to get a race? And that was last year, and I'm like, you know what? If you really want to race, we'll let you race at Limaland. It's only one night a week, and they only run 10 or 11 races normally. And he got Rookie of the Year, and he stayed out of trouble. And nobody was down at my pits wanting to beat me up because of the way he drives. So I guess.
Nice. Did you have any major setbacks at either track this year that you had to overcome?
Oh yeah, we had some. I lost a motor at Butler, and I came across the line in a heat race, and I snapped the ring and pinion right as I got underneath the checkered flag. So I made the race, and then it's the driver that makes the race. So I got a stacker trailer, and I had my boy's car in the top of it. So I unloaded his car and ran it in the feature, so I was able to maintain my points.
But you had to come off the tail for that race, right?
Yeah, I had to come off. Yeah, I came from the tail to like eighth, and I felt like I might have had a good shot at winning it if things would have went my way. But I'll be totally honest with you. After I drove that car that night and I got back, I told my son, I said, I don't know how you drive that car. It has no horsepower at all.
Oh.
And I took the motor out and we stuck a different engine in the very next week because it was very weak. And he hasn't raced long enough to know the difference.
So are you done racing for this season? Any plans to get down to St. Louis?
No, I didn't. We didn't really get after trying to get an invite. It was fun. I done it a couple of years, but you get no hot laps or anything, and it's a tough deal. There's a lot of really good cars, and we had Matt Miller drive for us at Eldora, and he done a really good job. And we're thinking about taking him to Florida with one of our house cars in February.
There's Matt Miller. Haven't heard that name in a while. It's been a minute.
I saw him. I think at
I did see
at Eldora.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was driving for you though. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the Vision Woodworks car, and he's our neighbor and our sponsor and our friend. And I asked him if we could use his car to let Matt, go for a championship at Eldora, and he ran really good every time he was in it. He got the lead one night, and the top kind of went away, but never driving a modified and never being in one of them kind of cars, I guess. He done us a really good job.
And Matt's always been good at Eldora.
Yeah, his confidence level there is very, very good, and that's a big part of racing. If you're confident and you can do it, it makes a big difference.
Exactly.
So what are your plans for next season? You said you got a new car you're excited about. Are you going to be running for championships again at Butler and Limaland?
I've told everybody that I wasn't going to race for championships. A lot of it's going to depend on if Limaland stays NASCAR or if they don't, and what they do with their point funds. That'll make a difference. But I think I got 22 years of perfect attendance at Limaland. I ain't missed one race, so it's going to be kind of hard not to keep going there. But Montpelier's got a new promoter. Tim was a new promoter at Butler. Tim's doing a great job, and I think that Ryan Sutter is going to do a really good job with Montpelier. And so Montpelier was kind of my home track, and I went to, Butler because they closed down.
That's right, yeah. Did you ran Montpelier at the end of the year this year, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Yeah, he done a really good job. He was very organized, got the show in a very timely manner. Payoff was ready. I really had no complaints about anything. He done a great job for never running a racetrack before.
How was the track itself? The few times I've been there, I loved driving that track because they had that the high bank around the outside.
Yeah, and I never cared for that because I felt like it kind of held the cars and it got topside dominant, and I was kind of negative about it. This year, it changed. They cut some of that down. They filled in the backstretch. So my son started deep in the field one night. I wasn't there. I let him go after the Lima points was over, and he ended up third from starting maybe 15th, and he ran right on the bottom, and everybody else was singing around the top. Well, everybody started moving down, and now it seems like you can run both grooves, and it's pretty even.
Nice. I'll have to get back out there.
Yeah.
Very cool. Any sponsors or anybody you need to thank for helping you out this season, either at Butler or Limaland?
Well, Vision Homes and Vision Woodworks, and I'm actually at the Half Acre right now. Me and my son bought it. It's a restaurant, and one of our dishwashers called off. So when I get off the phone with you, I got to do some prep, and the Half Acre helps sponsor my race car too. So, and we've been able to, with the Half Acre, and we got some great employees, and we have really good food. We was able to sponsor some races. We sponsored Butler Speedway with the Half Acre. So it's been, it's been good. We like to give back to racing because it's been good to us. So.
And where's Half Acre at?
It's in Albion, Indiana. It's just about 1 mile from the entrance to the Chain Lake State Park.
What kind of food?
It's mostly we do 80% breakfast. We're open till 2, but it's 80% breakfast. A lot of people come here at lunchtime and order breakfast because we have a really, really good breakfast menu.
Very good.
Nice. I'm not up early enough to get breakfast. Well, Todd Sherman, always a pleasure speaking with you. Congratulations again on your 1500th Limaland championship and picking up the championship is that your first championship at Butler?
I think I won one in 95 there. So it's been like almost, was that 30 years?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
29 years since I won a championship there. So
Nice.
Last year I would have had a shot at winning it, but I left and went to a memorial race for a friend of ours, and I ended up costing me the championship, or I would have got that one. But it all worked out good. We sponsored the race. It was at Montpelier, and I left and went down there, and I finished good, and it was a good payout. So,
a lot of tracks, they have some younger champions, some younger drivers, but Limaland, I mean, you and Tony, you're kind of the, not to be offensive or anything, but the old guard, I guess you could say. Does it feel rewarding to beat the kids? To beat the kids that are coming into the sport?
It is, because a lot of them, and I was going to mention this too, but I've always prided myself on not spending tons of money on a race car. I mean, I spend probably too much, but I've never bought a brand new engine. Like in 40 years of racing, I've never called an engine shop and said, hey, build me a brand new engine. And I did order one this year, so I'm going to have my first brand new engine that I've ever, had. It's always like you buy a good used set of heads or a short block or whatever, and I always build my own noses, but I put one of them Dominator Valiances on my mod for this year, and it looks pretty cool. So Dominator has some good products.
Yes, they do.
There you go. Yes. Well, Todd, congratulations once again, and good luck next season. Keep that perfect attendance going.
Thank you. Good talking to you.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, Todd.
Thank you.
We'll see you.
Todd Sherman.
Champion at Butler and
Limaland.
And waiting on Tony Anderson should be joining us any time now. Let me
What you doing there, Scott?
sending messages. I'm producing
okay.
while doing the show.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because I don't see Tony back in our green room just yet. I just talked to him about an hour before we came on, too. So hopefully he'll be joining us soon. If not with video, but if not with video, maybe on the phone. Speak of the devil. Yes, that's my phone. Hammer Down Racing Report.
Yeah, this is Tony Anderson.
Hey, Tony.
I'm sure I screwed up that dream. How you doing, man?
That's all right.
Hi, Tony.
Doing good. We just got done talking to Todd. Now we're speaking with Tony Anderson, the champion of the Thunderstocks. How many championships is this for you? This is 14, right?
15 at Lima, 1 modified, 14 super stock, 31 in my career.
Wow.
That's is winning championships. Is it still special to you, or is it just kind of like, it's another one?
Well, I mean, number one, everybody knows me, knows I love racing, and I get in these cars not to win, but just that's my happy time for 20, 25 minutes at a time. You know what I mean? And it's gotten a little more difficult lately, not because, I mean, obviously I'm getting older, but money wise, things cost so much more now. And I threw a rod to one of my best modified engine, Eldora, halfway through the season. And it's going to take me a year and a half to recoup from that.
Jeez.
So we keep plugging away. We don't have a lot of money in our stuff. Sometimes it shows, especially on the bigger track like Eldora. But on the short tracks, I'm very, very rarely the fastest, but I obviously have still held on to my ability to be consistent.
Todd was saying the same thing about you and his racing style.
Not putting as much money into it, and we'd asked Todd too, and kind of talking about you, but about being the old guard, and is it more satisfying, to beat some of these younger guys coming into the sport, some of the cockier younger guys?
I love it when I can pull that off, to be honest. And let me stop you dead in your tracks and apologize and scream. I sit there messing with my phone and stare at myself for 7 minutes, and apparently I still didn't do it right. So I was trying. It's a valiant effort. I'm too old school, I guess. I'm not sure of that.
This time I won't blame you, because we switched systems a few weeks ago, and we've had some issues with our guests
glitches
getting connected there. So you get a pass on that one.
I'm sure at least some of it was my fault, but I mean, there's younger people getting into the sport, and we still try to help competitors when I'm asked for help or asked questions. I don't lie. I don't play games. One of the reasons I still run the Superstock, we don't have very much money in it. We have two engines, a 430 and a 377, and believe it or not, I love my 377. That's just a combination. It just suits me, and I've run them combinations for a long time. And where it really hurts me is when I have to run the 377 on a heavy track at Eldora. That's when it kind of shows up.
right.
And but I bought the stock car that my teammate's driving, which he's a young guy. This was his first full time in the stock car this year. And Devin Helming, he did a great job. And we're going to try and prove some things for him next year. But that stock car, we kind of built it in the middle of the shop several years ago. We called it a mutt chassis. And, we don't have a lot of money in it. The stock car I'm currently driving, I bought off Todd Sherman. I bought it off Todd for $7,000, and it's a great car. I really like it. We don't run a lot of money in our motors, so we have under $13,000 in our car turnkey. And a lot of times we can ride in top 3, top 5 with it. That's why we stick with that class. It kind of helps us pay the bills with the modified.
Well, and a lot of the young guys coming in, they seem to have some funds available, and the technology, even in the stock cars, is getting pretty crazy.
Oh, it is. It is. There's great drivers out there in the stock class,
and they're not afraid.
Right. Exactly.
After you've been around a while, you learn that doing stupid stuff
costs money.
Yeah, and
I've
hurts.
learned that.
Ron, you of all people can relate to this when I tell you I've been upside down, I've been on fire, I've hit the wall so hard I forgot my name, and all I'm going to say is my cowboy days are behind me.
Yeah, buddy.
And if these tracks they pull up a lot of character, I'm going to find the smoothest line around. I don't care if I get 19th. That's just the way it's going to go down. You know what I mean?
I tend to do that just because it seems to be the quicker way around, too.
And least expensive.
A lot of times it works out for me. A lot of people have known the fact that for a long time that I'm a really good dry slick driver. And some of that's the fact I don't have, big money, big horsepower, but a lot of it, that suits my setup and my driving style. And I really like tracks when they slow down and they get wide. And I think that for some reason, a lot of the tracks I raced this year started getting away from that. And I'm not going to change anything. First of all, I don't have to do anything different than what I'm doing. But the one thing, we learned some things. Halfway through the season, it was a very frustrating season for us, first of all. 4 second places at Lima, I think 3 thirds. 1/11th was my
very consistent.
Right. And the thing is, what people don't know, those 4 second places, 3 of them, the car was broke. And I carried it to the finish line. We finished the race. We made enough money to fix the car. And I built my first car back in 1993 in a stone driveway. I rented a house on Harrison Avenue, downtown Limaland. It was an 85 Buick Regal. Built a tilt steering column in it. Built out a black plumber's pipe back then.
Ooh.
Boat gas tank in the back. And I didn't know why the cars leaned, but I knew they all leaned, to the left. And so I took a torch and heated up my steering so mine would lean. I had no idea what I was doing. None whatsoever. And rented a U-Haul trailer the first 5 races. I didn't even have a trailer. And finally, me and my dad built one, an open trailer. But that's the way I started out. And, over the years, we had some good, started learning things and had some good runs. And I would take junk motors and get the best out of them. And when they would expire, I'd pull my camera lifters out and put it into another engine. And I won some races at the right times and got hooked up with the right people. And I have nothing to hang my hat about. I'm still at 405 feature wins. We didn't get any this year. We had a lot of braking, a lot of problems. We broke 4 motors, including the one we broke a rod in. But all of our engines were, they expired. We had problems because of old parts. And I can't, if I rebuild a motor and freshen it up, I can't always afford new lifters and new connecting rods. And sometimes I take chances. And this was one of those years it kind of bit me in the backside.
Tony, a lot of tracks have had character lately, and I think that kind of plays into some of the engine failures.
I agree with that. Yep. The season opener at Eldora comes to mind. I finished 6th in points at Eldora this year, and my first race didn't even count. I won the heat race. They interviewed me when I rolled off the scales, and when I started back up, the engine was knocking. Come to find out, we knocked the roller lifter out of it, and it took out the cam. We pulled the plug. I was supposed to start second row outside in the feature, and I pulled out on the track, but I made a business decision. I didn't want to destroy what was left of my engine. And but that night, the track had a ton of character in it. And we had talked about it. We wondered if the track would have been a little drier, a little smoother, if maybe I could at least got through that night. Then discover during the weekly maintenance. But when them engines rev up and stuff, it's just not good for them to free rev like that. I don't care if you have a $30,000 motor or a $6,000 motor.
Right. You've been around a while. Some of the best racing I can remember was on a racetrack that was shiny black and 3-4 cars wide.
Yep, and that's what I've told people. Anybody, promoters have asked me my opinion. And as a fan sitting in the stands, I've been a fan since I was 5 years old watching, Dick Gaines and Bobby Scruffy Allen race,
Sure.
I think it's better racing when the track is wide. And usually when the track is hammered down, I call it train racing.
It is.
And then you throw a little bit of character at it. Oh yeah. Then it gets expensive. I won't name the track. I was at a track this year. I finished second in my super stop, and we replaced 2 ball joints and 2 shocks running second. Didn't touch a soul. And I disagree with that. I think that just takes all the fun out of it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep. That's my opinion. I'm not an expert, but I have been around for it, and I've ran some races.
How many years have you been racing? We kind of figured Todd had said that he was somewhere in the 41, 43,
I think we nailed
42.
it at 39.
Yeah, I don't think so. How many years you been racing, Tony?
Since 1993, so 31 years.
31 years. Yeah. Okay. So you got a little bit of seat time there.
Now, the year before that, I did win a go-kart race in Marion, Ohio, on an old cement indoor track where they poured Coca-Cola syrup on the track.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where they he ran it backwards and then ran the feature. I did pretty good at that, and it really got a taste in my mouth, and that's why I decided to build my own car that winter.
You ever go
had some input from Bobby Teaser, the late Bobby Teaser, on that deal too.
You ever go to Fort Wayne, the Rumble in Fort Wayne?
Nope. I've never. I went over there to watch, but I've never raced in it. I've never participated. Mainly funds, and we have a great sponsor that takes good care of us. But any spare money I get, I have a huge HO train layout in my basement, so I like to spend money on that. Between that and the race cars, that's
pretty
my money
cool.
I want to see some
Yeah,
pictures of that.
Well, I got to tell you, if I could have figured out this stream, I was going to show it off to you guys. I have a 1,600 square foot basement, and 2/3 of it's this train line. It goes through walls, up hills, in mountains, all kinds of stuff.
wow.
It's pretty cool.
Wow.
I
So
spend a lot of time down here in the wintertime.
before we talk about your plans for next season, or before we talk about your sponsors, what are your plans for next season?
Well, I think so I got to ask this a lot this year because for years and years I've double duty and ran 40, 50, sometimes 60 races a year. And this year was the first year I was under 30 races. We backed down our traveling because of the prices of everything. Halfway through the season when we kept breaking stuff, I broke stuff. I broke something on my semi one night. I had no idea semis had them on it. At part on, I had no idea what they were talking about. It's just one of them years, but we decided to experiment and play around some. And there were some good runs. We learned some things, and we also learned some things that we will probably never do again. And in doing that, towards the end, we picked up some speed, and especially in the super stock. Last race, Monster Mash over Montpelier, there was a couple of hot rods that started front row in the feature, and I won my heat, but I started 8th. And we were catching them at the end for some of the things we were trying, so we created some new notebooks. We're pretty excited about that, but I think our main focus next year is going to be trying to stay within a 2-hour range closer to home. We don't want to blow through all of our sponsor money trying to travel 3 or 4 hours to go race. It's just not the cards. And we've got a 3-link modified. It's a Sherman car. It's a good car. I like it. We're also building another one. Actually, Todd Sherman put a front clip on it. We're going to call it a mutt chassis, an old diamond mod. We're kind of going to do our own thing to it. I'm actually purchasing a motor off Todd, one of his old modified engines, because, like I said earlier, it's going to take me a year and a half, maybe even 2 years to come up with the money to fix my big motor. And, when them rods come out and they break the block, that gets expensive.
Yeah.
Well,
And it's just going to take me that long to do it. But we have a teammate we're excited about, Devin Humming, an old stock car. He did a great job this year. I think our plans are going to be to focus on Lima, Eldora. I hear tell that Montpelier is going to put a schedule together next year with Ryan Sutter running it. I'm not sure what Waynesfield's going to do. I'd love to come to Oakshade and play around something. It's within our range, but until I can get some things solidified on these rules. I tried changing the car around last year in some of the showdown races. It's just a lot of work,
mm-hmm.
And then you have to buy the different tires and stuff. But I think we're just going to try and stay closer to home, and hopefully we can get 30, 40 races, and hopefully we don't break half of what we broke this year, and it'll be a much funner season for us.
So what? Speaking of the money, then who helped you out there as far as sponsorship and even your crew?
Oh, my crew! I'll start there because I remember all those. I think. And when you get my age and done stuff I've done,
careful now.
I'm sure there's a couple of people on the other side of the screen who know exactly what I'm talking about, but it's hard to remember stuff. But Neil Sterling, my longtime super stock crew chief, is still with me. He busts his butt. He also works for me at my auto repair shop there in Lima. Keith Mayer, even his daughter, Casey Mayer, helps us out. Ron Bounds, he's a retired Marine, helps drive the truck, helps us with tire work when he can. We picked up a new helper towards the end of the season before this last one, Jerry Webster, from down towards Troy, Ohio. In fact, he's one conducting the modified assembly this winter. He's been a huge help. He's a lot smarter than I am, and that helps. My wife puts up with me going racing. She goes where she can. My mom's been on my crew and coming to races since end of 1993. She's got notebooks. I can tell you where I finished 15 years ago, whatever track I was at, only because of her notebooks.
Wow, that's nice.
But I've got a great crew. I've got lots of surrounding people. My brother T.I. helps me build gears and does some things for me when he can. Honestly, I get along with most of the other racers. I even have a lot of other racers to help us out. I'm very appreciative of that. Craig Dittman's helped me out before, and And, just along here locally, Todd Sherman has helped me out a lot over the last 4 or 5 years. I have a lot of respect for everybody I race with, and I think that shows on the track when you don't go out there and run people over every week.
Yeah, and that goes back to your thing about it costs money.
Mm-hmm. It costs money. Plus, the way I got into racing, I didn't have. Excuse my French. I didn't have a pot to pee in. I started with nothing,
and still have most of it, right?
Yeah, exactly. People go sometimes visit that stacker trailer and that toter. Well, I got to tell you, 8 years ago, we had $45,000 invested in both those, the truck and the trailer. You can't even buy a used dually for that.
No.
And we haul 3 cars with it, keep all of our equipment in it. It take 8 people to try it. It's just so much more economical. The semi actually gets a little better fuel mileage than the old Top Kick did, pulling the standard 48-foot trailer. So it worked out for us. We found out last year that the repairs on that truck are a little more than the other ones, but fortunately we haven't had to do that very often. And then, I have got this Roadhouse that's been with me for a long time. We have Mid-American Cleaning. That's my car owner's business that he owns and operates. We have Simplified Flooring, Layman Funeral Home Services. Fortunately, I have not needed any of those as of now. Great people. I also work on some of these people. I work on their fleets at my shop. And just things go hand in hand. Quality Mechanical. I know I'm forgetting a bunch here, but I'm very thankful for my sponsors and their help. And we've had web insurance for a long time too. Rick Moaning, and he insures my house, my rental house, my shop, all my vehicles. It's all about relationships, I think. That means the most to me. Ken Perez from Texas Roadhouse was just at my shop today. I worked on his wife's Jeep, and we sit there and talk for a while. That topic come up today, our friendship and the relationships I have with all these people and a lot of the other racers. And that I'll never be able to replace any of that in my lifetime. Whether I retire now or 2 years from now, it won't matter. I won't be able to replace that.
Well, Tony, we got to get going here, and we want to congratulate you once again on your 14th Thunderstock Championship at Limaland, and good luck on what you got going on for next year.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and I am really excited because we really did learn some things this year. So I'm really glad. At first, I was southbound when the idea came to me from my crew. Hey, let's experiment, let's play around. What? Don't you guys want to win? What? But you know what? They were right, and it paid off. So I look for us to have a much better 2025.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you at maybe one of the Showdown series or Hammer Down or whatever incarnation it is next summer. I'm sure there'll be something at the end of the season. Look forward to seeing you there.
Well, I appreciate that. I often double duty, sometimes triple duty. I would be lying if I said I wasn't starting to get to me and wear me down a little bit, but I'm still more than willing to pull it off as long as the crew's willing to do the extra work. So,
and I got some extra tires I can give you. I'll make sure they're slow though, so I can at least beat you.
Hey, it's fun racing with you. I've raced with you a couple times now. I like good race car drivers that can drive clean. That's always good, fun racing.
I appreciate it. Well, Tony,
you guys have a great night.
All right, you too, man. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks for your time.
Hey, thank you, guys. Yeah, appreciate you.
Bye. Bye. There you go, Tony Anderson, your 14th time. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah. 14th time Limaland Thunderstock track champion. We got Will Yuravak here standing by. We're going to get to him here in just a second before we bring him on. I want to remind you, hashtag DCR. You type that into the comments of the Facebook Live or the YouTube Live or the Twitch, anything we're on live, then you'll be entered to win the official Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker, courtesy of DCR Graphics. We'll be doing that drawing at the conclusion of tonight's show. So let's bring in our next guest after I get that back off the screen. And there we see Will.
Hey.
Hey, how are you guys?
We can hear you too. So, all right.
Glad we didn't have to wake you up.
No, not at all.
Will Yuravak, am I pronouncing that right?
Yes, you are.
All right. Three wins in 7 races at Lorain. All your finishes were in the top 5. What do you attribute your success there at Lorain?
Well, I'd have to attribute a lot. My wife, my family, Rick Gretsch. He's the one who got me into the sport and, is constantly helping me with changes and trying to make the car better.
Nice. Now, you also won the cavalcade at Sandusky. How big was that for you?
Oh, that was a big one. I was really excited over that one. Got a little nervous. We were coming down to the last few laps, and I was still had to get around 2 more people. The car felt like it was on rails that day, though. Running the outside, I mean, it just stuck, and we were able to pull it off.
Now, they just announced this new partnership between Lorain and Sandusky, and some name changes in the classes. So you're going from Pure Stocks. You're the Pure Stock champion at Lorain. Now it's going to be the Grand Nationals. Any opinions you have of this partnership? I don't know all the details or anything other than the changes in the names.
I think the partnership's great. I know there's a few people out there that maybe don't see it the same way. But if you ask me personally, I think all these tracks need to start working together. And I think they'll have a better outcome. And as far as the name change, I mean, I think it's a great name change because the last thing our cars are pure stocks.
Yeah, I was going to say, it didn't look too pure, but...
No, they're not even close. If you try to even run any tracks out of state, it's just not happening.
So how... Let me ask you this: is your car legal to run with the Ohio Wheelman Series, or is there any differences between that and yours?
So yeah, the car's 100% legal to run Ohio Wheelman Series. Motor wise, I couldn't pull it off. With those guys, I mean, I could probably be, I don't know, right around mid pack. I could probably stay right around mid pack, but as far as trying to even be, competitive and beyond that, I don't think there's a chance.
So was this your first track championship then?
Yeah. So this is actually the 2024 season was actually my second year racing.
Okay.
This is my first track championship. And this year was actually my first win. I pulled my first win off at Painesville Speedway this year.
Gotcha. Well, congratulations on that.
How did you get into racing?
Yeah, you've only been in a couple of years.
Yeah. The neighbor across the street, he passed away, and Rick Gretsch bought his house. So I went over there and introduced myself, and he was like, "Hey, we have a race coming up. You want to come watch?" And I'm like, I don't watch those guys go in circles. I'm like, I'd rather watch them go straight. I'm like, you roundy round guys are boring. He's like, "Oh, come on, come watch." Well, I ended up going out there and watching. And by about middle of the evening, I'm like, all right, man, I got to
do this.
Yeah, that's how it went. And, he pointed over at one of these cars, and he's like, "Well, that's a pure stock. I can get you into that for probably like $5,000. And I'm like, "Deal, sign me up." Well, let me tell you about that $5,000. Yeah, not even close. So
it was a starting number.
Yeah, it was a great starting number. Great starting number. So now, blew within the first week.
So now you're a roundy round guy.
Yeah, now I'm a roundy round guy. It's
gave
a lot
up on
better
that
than the whole 10, 12 seconds of fun. Now you at least get usually around a half hour of fun.
Well, and with drag racing, the more money you spend, the faster you go, so you're having less fun.
Right?
I mean, you go from a 12-second car to a 10-second car, you're
done quicker.
Yeah, you
Yep.
lost 20% of your fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, other than your first win at Paynesville, you mentioned, is there any other memory that stands out from this past season at any of the tracks you raced at?
This past season, I would say High Miler. High Miler at Sandusky. I have 2 cars. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, Charlie Schultz.
Mm-hmm.
He's a super modified sprint car guy, and
Yep.
he runs one of my other cars every now and then. And he was running with me at High Miler.
Another pure stock?
Yeah, my other pure stock. It was actually my last year's car.
Another $5,000 car, right?
Yeah, another $5,000 car, you know. So, he was in front of me. We got under caution. I lined up on the outside, and we were kind of screwing around back and forth coming around the back stretch. I was trying to push him down under caution, and we were coming to take the green, and I'm like, okay, I'll take my spot back. Well, he comes up and hits me, and just screwing around, and well, I think it popped his tire, and we took the green. We're coming into turn 1, and I pinched him down a little bit, and he ended up taking us both out with 7 laps to go.
Oh.
So that was probably one of my most memorable ones. It was fun. Everybody was laughing. They're like, I can't believe the car owner is gonna sit there and destroy both of his cars. I'm like, yeah, I had some fun though.
You said that was at the High Miler at Sandusky?
Yeah, that was High Miler at Sandusky. We ended up both having to come in and pit and both get tires. He ended up blowing my tire, and we went back out, started tail, and we ended up finishing. I finished second. He finished third. But
that was pretty good.
Yeah.
From the
that
tail.
was a good one.
Nice.
So
what do you got planned for next season? You can have a third-year car?
yeah. Now, I won't have a third car, but no, I'm going to keep my car that I had this year. I really like it. We have a couple changes we're making. They did some changes to the rules, and, I'll probably stay in pure stock just this next year. After that, I think the 2026 season, I think I want to jump up to street stock.
No modified?
That's another jump.
I won't run. I promised, well, actually, I made the promise to myself, but the neighbor, Rick Gretsch, he runs a modified. He's one of I'll tell you, without him, I wouldn't be as fast as I am or where I'm at. I don't want to run against him because I know nothing about a modified, so he has to teach me everything. So you kind of don't want to teach your competition everything. So until he retires, I won't get into a modified. But when he retires, I'll probably jump straight into a modified then.
But you're hooked on this roundy round stuff now.
Yeah, I'm hooked.
Any chance we'll see you at the hangover race at Sandusky? Or do you have a fear of the cold?
I used to love the cold. Now I'm getting older. I hate the cold. I was really thinking about it this year. I think I'm going to show up.
Awesome.
Cool.
I won't show up with my good motor, but I'll take. I got a little beater motor I'll put in there.
You'll be taking on a lot of the dirt guys show up to run the asphalt for that.
Oh, really?
So yeah. Oh, yeah. You haven't been there for that?
I have not showed up for it. No.
I got beat by a pavement guy last year, so
really?
I ended up
Who was
finishing
that?
second. Was it Lonnie York?
Oh.
I think he was a flat rock guy.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
But yeah, it's always fun with all the different driving, the different styles, different kind of cars, all kind of come together. It's fun, except for when it's pouring rain. So let's hope it doesn't do that.
Yeah, or snow.
Snow's fun.
Snow is really okay. It's one of the worst times I've ever had at a racetrack was 3-4 years ago when it rained.
Cold.
Oh, okay.
But so who are your sponsors or any crew members you want to give a shout out to for helping you out this year, helping you earn that championship?
Crew members, my wife, my kids, Rick Gretsch, Dan, Mike, Charlie Schultz, and his sponsors, Modern Port Walls Construction Services, Kip's Electrical Services, Corky's Place, Tri-R Landscaping, and the Tree Service, Timmy's Lawn Care, and that's obviously myself, Willie's Custom Upholstery. But that's about it for the sponsors.
You do car upholstery or furniture?
Yeah, I do custom car and boat interiors.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yes.
I might
Ron's
have to,
working on a business deal.
Yeah.
Something I see the wheels turning in his head.
Yeah.
Well, try to get it in sooner than summer, because once summer hits, it's race season. So you'll be waiting a while.
Yeah, I can.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did you ever think that you would be a track champion just your second year of racing?
No, honestly, no. I mean, I kept improving every race. And then this year, it was like Ty Schaefer told me. He's like, "Will, your hardest win is going to be your first win." And I said, "Yeah, but Ty," I said, "I can't pull it off, man." He's like, "I'm telling you." He's like, "Once you get that one, the rest of them come easy." And that was the truth. And I mean, we had a good year. We had a great year.
Well, congratulations and good luck at the Hangover race. Good luck next year as well. Looking forward to seeing you at the Hangover race.
Yeah.
And congratulations again.
Scott will be there in a blue number 8, and I'll be in something with a number 35 on it. We don't know what.
All right. Well, you'll see my old car there. So.
Okay.
Perfect.
Looking forward to it, man. Again, congratulations.
Hey, thank you guys.
Thanks, Will.
We'll see you.
Bye. Yep. Bye.
There you go. Your 2024 Lorain Raceway Park Pure Stock champion, which will be renamed next year to the Grand National class. That's
a lot classier name.
We'll talk about that here in just a second as we do have our racing news. We will be giving away our Mazda's Pizza with how many here in just a moment, and the Hammer Down Race Report window sticker again. If you haven't put hashtag DCR in the comments of the Facebook Live or the YouTube Live, you can do so. You still have time to do so to get into the drawing for that. I got to mention freeze frame photos for all your racing photo needs, from action shots to victory lane, custom print magnets, can koozies, tumblers, and other gift items. I just got a magnet from my realtor from when I bought this house 5 years ago. She every year sends like a calendar. It has this little magnet calendar. So you can get one of those custom made with pictures of your race car.
A magnet calendar or a regular?
No, it's a little magnet calendar.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So I bet you he can do that, or he can do a regular calendar. Yeah. You get more pictures than a regular calendar.
I like the regular big ones.
There you go. Well, get your 2025 calendars. Order them from Charlie. Give him a call, 419-407-6994. You get to pick all 13 pictures because you get the 12 months plus January of 2026. And I don't remember if there's a cover, if you get to choose a cover photo too. I didn't get one this past year. It's been a lucky
I don't
year,
think
so.
You
call Charlie. He'll tell you. 419-407-6994. Freeze frame photos, special moments frozen in time. And finally, Ron Miller Race Cars. He's got race cars, parts, safety equipment, service, brakes, trailer repair, brake pads, brake pad customizations.
Yeah.
Is there anything you don't do?
I haven't figured it out yet.
What's that old truck that's sitting out in your lot? I meant to ask you about that the other
That
day.
actually belongs to a company that has greenhouses. They grow flowers, and it's a 1955 Ford F-350, and
Does it run?
that's why it's there.
That's what, okay.
They couldn't find anybody old enough to know how to work on that, and I guess
I guess that's you.
they drew my straw. Yeah.
Wow. Well, there you go. Give Ron a call, 734-856-7223. Just do it after the show, because otherwise it'll ring. And yeah. Let's do a little bit of racing news before we give away some pizza.
Latest racing news.
So as we had just mentioned, the Sandusky Speedway and... Whoops, that's the wrong button. I didn't mean to hide you. I meant to mute.
Lorain Speedway.
Yes. Sandusky Speedway and Lorain... I'm sorry, Raceway Park.
Yeah.
Announced an alliance for the 2025 season. They will be rebranding the divisions. We mentioned the Pure Stocks will now be called the Grand Nationals. The Renegades will be renamed the Ohio Pro Compacts.
Okay.
It's a pretty flashy name. The All-American Iron and Ace Racing League will combine the rules, making the division factory stocks.
Okay.
So I wonder if there'll be any similarities to the factory stocks at Toledo and Flat Rock.
I don't know. Now,
Compatibility, maybe.
Weren't one of those classes based on like a Crown Vic?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what
I don't remember. Yeah.
There's also going to be a Warrior division that will be added to the racing program as well. I'm not sure what that entails. There was no details as far as what that means, but
I'm sure we will find out.
Rules for each
We
division
always do.
Are said to be released next week. So hopefully by next week's show we'll have a little more insight into that and can tell you what exactly we got coming up. Ty Majeski was one of 4 drivers in the battle for the NASCAR Truck Series Championship this weekend at Phoenix Raceway. Per NASCAR obligations, the 4 drivers were required to take part in media obligations. Earlier this past week, Majeski told his team that he wouldn't be able to participate in the media day as he went to vote on Tuesday in Wisconsin. NASCAR issued a fine to the driver for failure to complete media obligations, a fine of $12,500. Now the driver is upset with NASCAR's ruling and intends to appeal the penalty. So voting cost him $12,500.
Yeah. Well,
he could have, in all fairness, I mean, the schedule was set for how long?
I don't know on the media day.
Well, I mean, but your media days are typically, I mean, he could have
On a
gotten an
Tuesday, that would have
absentee
been a
ballot or
Tuesday,
something,
yeah.
or early voting, or there is other things he could have done. But at the same time, I mean, I wouldn't keep him from voting, but.
We're heading off into political
territory,
territory, Scott. I'm not going there.
Well, I'm just saying,
biting my tongue.
Well, I'm just saying, it's that was a weird thing. I don't know. I kind of blame both of them. I think NASCAR is kind of in the wrong for that. There should have been a little leeway there, but at the same time, Majeski probably could have made some other arrangements. That's all I'm saying.
Fine them both.
Yes. Just ahead of the restart in Stage 2 with NASCAR's... Oh, excuse me. Just ahead of the restart in Stage 2 of Sunday's NASCAR Cup Series race, the pace car made a hard left-hand turn toward the pit lane.
Enough.
Or maybe it was too hard.
Too hard, yeah.
It was too late for commitment. Instead, the pace car driver slid into the sand barrels, sending sand flying across the pit lane entrance. Chase Elliott was set to restart on the front row there, so he had a good view of that. And he said on the radio, quote, "He was not going to make it. That was a late decision." And then his crew chief, Alan Gustafson, replied, "I just let them know they're on DVP, damaged vehicle policy.
Protocol, maybe?
Yeah, that's what it is. They've got 6 minutes. Can't work on it under red." And they used to say who drove the pace car, but I don't know who drives the pace car anymore.
I don't either.
NASCAR John might know. It's like something up his alley. Who is the driver of the pace car?
Pace car.
We want to know. Brandon Shepard, we mentioned this a little bit earlier. He's going to return to the seat of Rocket One, the Rocket One late model, which he left
House
earlier
car,
this season. Yeah, the house car for the 2025 season. Brandon Shepard, fresh off winning the World of Outlaws Case Construction Late Model Championship, going back to the Rocket One late model. He will compete for his 6th World of Outlaws Case Construction Equipment Late Model Series Championship next year. Tim McCready, who is in that ride this for the rest of this year, I guess the last 3 quarters of it, he's going to move over to the Boom Briggs team and compete for another Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Championship.
Oh, and
Brett Bodine.
Yep.
See, I figured he would know. I didn't realize that. Really, that was Brett Bodine driving it.
That'd be an oops.
Yeah. He probably doesn't want people to know he was driving it.
Nope, wasn't me.
Yeah. Roger Penske, he owns 2 of the world's biggest races. Penske Entertainment has purchased the Grand Prix of Long Beach. Penske also owns, of course, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Indianapolis 500, and IndyCar.
And assorted race cars.
Yes, and a race team. Penske confirmed, and he's the championship cup team.
Yeah.
Penske confirmed the acquisition of the Grand Prix of Long Beach from longtime owner Gerald Forsyth. The race will return to network television, with Fox set to broadcast the event on Sunday, April 13th. And finally, a little bit of sad news. Hofus Racing's questioning NASCAR John there. Not sure if he still drives it or not. Some sad news here. Bobby Allison, founder of racing's Alabama Gang and NASCAR Hall of Famer, died Saturday. He was 86 years old. Mr. Allison moved to 4th on the NASCAR Cup Series victory list last month when Chairman Jim France recognized Allison as the winner of the Myers Brothers Memorial at Bowman Gray Stadium in 1971. That race that had no winner. We talked about that a few weeks on the show. Allison was inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame in 2011. He was the 1983 champion, 3-time winner of the Daytona 500, finished 2nd in the series title race 5 times, helped put NASCAR on the map with more than just his driving. His infamous fight with Cale Yarborough in the closing laps of the 1979 Daytona 500 served as one of the sport's defining moments. Quote, "Cale went to beating on my fist with his nose," unquote. Mr. Allison has said repeatedly, often using that phrase to describe the fights. And you had him on Motorsports Talk, the old
a couple years
radio
ago.
show. Just a couple years ago. I remember that was an interesting episode. If you have a chance, find that. Unfortunately, the podcast version of the old Motorsports Talk shows are not labeled very well, so you have to listen to them all. If someone wants to listen to them and tell me what they are, I think I have access. I can go back and actually label them a little bit better.
Right.
So they're easier to organize. Or
then all we got to do is find the ones from Seaway Radio, and
those I don't have. That was a little before my time. No Hammer Down hotline calls this week.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I know last week was all about you, but
broke my heart.
If you'd like to call the Hammer Down hotline, please feel free to do so. That number is 419-318-3081. 3081? 318? Is it 318?
Yeah. 419-318-3081.
3081. Okay. That sounds right. I'm going with you on that because I forgot to add the little slide with the phone number for our video viewers here. Let's do some pizza giveaway.
Maybe you can make a sticky and hide it
I could do that. I could actually just type it in too.
How many?
Gonna give away some Mazza stone-fired pizza. I hate that. Every time I play a video, it unmutes things that should stay muted. Last week's how many of the Cup Series Championship 4 would finish on the lead lap at Phoenix? All 4 of them did.
Yep.
They all 4 finished in the top 10, I believe, too. So you said 4.
Yeah.
I said 3 because you said 4, and I couldn't pick 4. So congratulations, Ron. You're the in-studio winner. We did have a few people that chose 4. So we're going to have to spin the Mazda's Pizza wheel for the, well, I don't think it was the first time, but first time in a long time. So let's bring up the Mazda's Pizza wheel. So everybody's got a slice there.
Ooh.
Everybody that
Everybody's got a slice of the pizza.
Yeah, so on there's Thomas Cole, Hovis Racing, Perry Cox, James David, Doug Frost, Dusky Raker Bishop, and John Young. So here we go to determine the winner of a large one-item pizza from Mazda's Pizza over there in Point Place. Mazda's Pizza, of course, a sponsor of Goad Racing. And that's how we got hooked up with Mazda's Pizza here at the Hammer Down Racing Report. And it looks like another win for Hovis Racing. I think they've won like 3 times or something.
Yeah.
I might be missing.
They won.
It might be stickers too.
They won the gift certificate.
Is that what it is?
A couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay. So there you go. Now you got another large one-item pizza. Send me a message after the show as to whose name you want me to put that in. Because yeah, we'll need a name.
This one you don't
so.
have to stop by Ron Miller Race Cars.
Nope, you can just go there. But,
get
a
a hold of Scott and.
Then we'll get your name over there, and then you'll have 30 days to claim your pizza. Don't fret, though, if you did not win, because you'll have another chance to win next week.
And here it comes.
And here it comes. So this week's how many? It's a math problem. This one's
catchy.
You like this one?
I like it, yes.
I did this one just for you. Not much racing coming up any more this time of this year, but there is a Castrol Flow Racing Night in America. They have a couple races coming up at Sonoya. It's the Peach State Classic, Friday and Saturday night. So this week's how many is, don't put your guess in until you hear me out here, the number of the winning car on Friday night plus the number on the winning car of Saturday night's main event.
Right.
So what that means is, let's say
it could be 1 and 1, and
it could then your guess should be 2.
Right.
But
it could be 99 and 99, then it'd be 198.
Yes, there you go. Or if it's Ricky Thornton Jr. That wins on Friday, and then let's say Davenport on, and I don't know if they're racing there or not. I'm just throwing out some names. So that'd be 20, and now Davenport's driving the Rumley 6, so that'd be 20 plus 6, so 26 would be your guess. So I think you understand how that goes. If any of the races get rained out, then the night that gets rained out will be 0. If Friday night gets rained out and they race it Saturday afternoon, we'll still count that race as Friday night's race.
And this is in Sonoya.
Sonoya, yeah. They're going to run 2 complete shows. I believe that's Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. So there you go.
Well, if it's a Peach State, yeah.
I guess that would make sense. So go ahead, put your guess in the comments of the Facebook Live or the YouTube Live, and you have until, we'll say tomorrow at 6 p.m. That'd be Friday night, 6 p.m. So if you're listening to the podcast, if you listen to the audio version of the podcast, especially last week's show, it's a lot different than what you're hearing on the live version, because some of the less or more awkward parts of it are a little bit cleaned up.
Edited.
Yeah. I forget what happened last week, but we had some issues that...
That's okay.
Oh, it was the trying to do the drawing thing live, and there was just a lot of... Yeah, that got edited out. It's cutting room floor. So if you want a more polished version of the show, listen to the audio version. If you want to see everything raw and uncut, tune in live Thursday nights at 7. So there you go. So that's this week's how many. I see the guesses coming in there. Dean's throwing his hands up. Got 10, 64. I have no idea what that's going to be. So what's your? We got to pick ours here.
Oh, I've got to pick first.
Yeah,
too, don't I? I was going to 1 under whatever you did, but that's okay.
Well, you won, so you got to go first.
Yeah,
here.
Okay. I'm just going to stab at a number, 42.
The answer to everything?
That's the one.
Okay. I think I saw my brother had that, so I'm going to go with, this is a tough one, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. What's Bobby Pierce's 32?
You're going with the swag method.
Yeah, what number did you pick?
42.
Wait, I just wrote down 42. I'm going to go with 43.
Ooh.
I'm going with I'm just going to pick one more higher than you and hope that it's bigger. I'm going with the over-under there.
Okay.
So there you go. Again, you have till 6 o'clock Eastern time to get your vote in for that, or your guess in for that, and be eligible to win a Mazda's Pizza, large one item.
This weekend's racing menu.
So as we just talked about, the Castrol Flow Racing Night in America at Sonoya.
Oh, since you already guessed your number,
Yeah.
I have a friend who sometimes lives with me when she's not down in Florida. And now I know Jacksonville is expecting some rain on towards this weekend.
Oh.
So you one-upping me.
May not be a good idea. Is that what you're saying?
I wasn't going to give you the weekend weather pit stop.
Well, we don't have anything local for the weekend.
There you go.
We can't, unless you want to start doing one for Australia.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay.
Sunny and 80.
Look out for kangaroos.
That's it.
Castrol Flow Racing Night in America, Peach State Classic, Friday and Saturday nights at Sonoya Raceway. So 2 nights of some late model racing. Albany Speedway, opening night down in Australia for Albany Speedway. Wingless Sprints, Juniors, 125s, Seniors, Street Stocks, Productions, and Legend Cars. So a lot of action there at Albany Speedway. High Tech Toowoomba Speedway.
You like that name, too.
I do, Toowoomba. Saturday, they're going to have Wingless National Number 1 featuring, I probably should have pre-read this from Dave, featuring late models, AMCAs, Formula 500s, Junior F500s. Would that be Formula 500s?
Yeah.
Street Stocks and Junior Sedans. That's Saturday at High Tech Speedway Toowoomba in Australia. And finally, also in Australia, Premier Speedway Saturday. It's the Jack Wilshire Cup featuring 360 LS Sprint cars and Formula 500s.
Geography question for you. Where would Tasmania be in Australia?
I don't know. Isn't it in the middle somewhere?
No.
I don't know. Sydney's on the right side. Perth is on the left side,
Yeah.
I think.
Yep.
East and west.
And Tasmania is an island down on the southern end of Australia.
Well, there's just nothing in the middle of Australia.
No.
I was thinking of the Tasmanian Devil.
actually-
Whatever happened to the Tasmanian Devil?
Oh, I don't have a clue.
You remember him?
Yeah.
He was a cartoon when you were younger, right?
Probably the close. Actually, there's a track called Blackwater, which is way up the East Coast, and then there's your favorite Kalgoorlie, which is really in the middle of nowhere. It's close to the world's largest open pit gold mine. And there's your geography lesson
All
for the
right.
night, presented by Hammer Down Racing Report.
And Rod Miller Race Car.
That's the one.
I think we're about ready to do our hashtag DCR wheel spin, Mr. Producer Dave. So whenever you're ready to do that, if you haven't put in hashtag DCR, well, you're probably SOL about now. But you've had quite a while to do it to win our DCR Graphics sponsored Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker. If you have a race car, you slap one of those on your car, re-enlist into the Hammer Down Army for next year. We'll report on your finishes each and every week. And there's the wheel.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. I like it when I don't have to do anything. This is awesome.
Yeah. Now the problem is going to be
Well, it'll pop up with the name. I can't read it. It's a guy. Drew Smith.
Oh, all right.
Congratulations, Drew Smith.
You can pick up your sticker at Ron Miller Race Cars.
There you go. You have 30 days to pick up your Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker. Thank you, Producer Dave. That was
Or possibly a Jugs Bowling Center next Tuesday.
Is he bowl too?
Yeah.
Sorta. Sorta. Ron said it, not me. So, there you go.
You got it.
Yeah. Thanks to associate producer. I'm sorry. He's been upgraded. I haven't changed my copy on
He is
here. He's producer.
Dave.
Thanks to producer Dave. Contributors John Young, Dean Henry, Bob Stazak, and Matt Swander. Make sure to like us on Facebook. Follow us on X otherwise known as Twitter, at Hammer Report. Follow us on YouTube. You can even follow us on Twitch now. Haven't done too much with Twitch. We're live on Twitch. We're just on there because
I visited it a couple of
you?
times. Yeah, just
You've probably been there more than I have then. You can always listen to us on your favorite podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Check out HammerdownRacingReport.com. You can listen to us there as well. Make sure to rate and review us if you do listen to us on one of those other platforms. That kind of helps us out with all the algorithm and all that stuff. And, of course, support our sponsors that support us, make the show possible each and every week. DCR Graphics, Dominator Race Products, Oakshade Raceway, Where I'm Miller Race Cars, Freeze Frame Photos, Dittman Motorsports, Magic Moment Entertainment, and Victory Fuel. Thanks again to this week's guests, Lorain and Limaland champs, Will Yuravak, Tony Anderson, Todd Sherman. Next week, you know what we're doing next week?
what are we doing next week?
Butler Speedway champions.
Oh, well, okay.
So, and I got a couple of confirmations here because I just, before we did the show tonight, was throwing out some invites.
Sure, Scott. Well prepared.
Dominic has not responded yet. Van Gurley Jr.'s in. He's the 410
Right.
Champion. I thought I saw. Oh, Travis Kyle, the stock champion, is in as well.
Okay.
So we'll have at least them on, and hopefully we'll get. I haven't got a response yet from Dominic Morehouse, the 4-cylinder champion, and Butler champs next week. So we'll be back 7 o'clock Thursday. That's a wrap on show number 355 of the
Hammer Down Racing Report.
I was supposed to do that with you, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were.
All right, let's try that again.
Next time.
That's a wrap for show number 355 of the Hammer Down Racing Report. Oh.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.